One thing that I can't stop thinking about after reading her story is that it's just like mind-boggling to think that her story would go undocumented if it wasn't for a total stranger's curiosity and willingness to listen. And it made me think about, like, recently, a few years ago, I interviewed my great grandmother who was still alive at the time, and she told me things that I was like, God, you were young once too.
Yeah.
So how many, I mean, I'm sure that stories as interesting and as wild and as crazy exist within our own families, but why do you think so few people take the time to ask? And do you have some sort of crazy curiosity that the rest of us don't?
Well, I mean, remember my interviews are within the structure of my work. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's even my me and my own wife. She's like, what do maybe you should be asking me? Like, yeah, it's like there's something about intimacy, something about being really close to somebody, which makes these difficult conversations tougher to have. And I'm gonna figure it out one day. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, why is it so much? I can feel the resistance. Why is it so much harder for me to ask my mom and my wife and my brother these questions that I ask a complete stranger? And on the flip side of that, why is it so much easier for a complete stranger to tell me these things than it would be to tell their mom or their brother or their sister? There is, and I don't, again, I'm going to figure it out one day. But my thinking so far is that relationships are tough. It's really hard to make a relationship work, a close relationship. And you get to a place where everything is working and the ship is sailing along, and you're really afraid of introducing new truths and new information that is going to change that dynamic and throw that off course. And I think that's my only reason why I think people are so, there's something about intimacy, the proximity. There's something about the proximity you have to another person that makes these searing questions so much harder to ask than if you don't know them at all. And on the flip side, they're so much easier to answer if you don't know the person at all. That is some strange power and strange wrinkle of the universe that fuels my work. That people would confide in me in this way. And I'm yet to fully understand the mechanisms behind why it works.